Okay, I'm rolling.
You Limp Biscuit rolling, mate?
Yeah, absolutely am. When am I not? Is a better question. In this week's episode, we're trying the Pure Scot Signature, a blended Scotch whiskey from Bladnoch.
And I'm 40. Cheers.
And why not head over to our social media account and let us know your favourite Mr. Burns moment, all will be revealed. That's at Whisky and Things Podcast on Instagram and at Whisky and Things on Facebook and Twitter. Excellent.
Foreshadowing. It would help us out if you reviewed us and stuff. Because I'm 40. Excellent.
Excellent.
You're listening to Whisky and Things with Nick Kent and Dave Giles.
Welcome to episode 112. I'm Dave Giles.
And I'm Nick Kent.
Still not sure about how I'm doing that.
112. 112. 112.
112. Exactly. 112 sounds best, doesn't it?
Oh,
it doesn't really matter, but it
matter.
throws me every time we come to it. I'm like, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing.
Every week. It's only been 112 episodes.
Well, no, but it's only been 12 since we got to three figures, right? So 13, if you include 100.
Yeah, it's a tough one, Dave. It's a tough one. How are you? You all right?
I'm all right. How was your birthday?
It was good. Thank you. Yes.
Excellent.
I'm now officially a middle-aged man, right?
No, but anyway.
Isn't that the thing? 40? Well, if I expect to live to 80.
You seem to like telling yourself this, which is absolutely fine. You keep doing your thing. Whatever
I thought
makes
it was
you...
when you hit 40, you buy sports cars and stuff.
Well, I'd like to see you try. That was quite quick for me.
It was quite savage as well.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
Well, you could have come up with another example. You know,
you were the one who mentioned sports cars, not me.
What my brother did. Bought himself a convertible. But there you go.
Wow. Cheers, Paul.
Yeah. How are
Nick
you?
A sports car. I'm good, mate. I had
How was
a crazy
your birthday?
week.
That was not too long ago. I can't remember how many shows we've recorded since your birthday. I'm not sure.
What, 3? I don't know.
Yeah, but not just whatever. Happy birthday.
Thanks. Mate, we had a good time last week celebrating your birthday. I very much enjoyed it.
We did.
I can't remember what whiskey we drank, but I do know you got shots of tequila, which I have not done in a long time. Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
She did.
No, it doesn't sound like me. Doesn't sound like something I do.
Once we saw your birthday and you got 4 shots of tequila, and one of the people we were driving, so you did too.
Oh. I stepped up.
Yeah, on your own birthday, you stepped up and you got the drink that
I was
no one wanted.
I was a responsible adult in the situation.
Yeah, okay? Absolutely.
Middle-aged man. Yeah, I'll do that.
Absolutely.
I'll do it for the kids, you know? I'll do it for the kids.
Mate, you're doing it for the industry. The hospitality industry needed your help there.
That pub in South Kensington, or wherever we were, needed our business.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
For sure. Yes. Right, shall we give this a little go? As in this podcast? Shall we give it a go, Dave? Shall we give this podcast a go?
I think we should give this little podcast a go, mate.
Yes, do it. Sting me.
All right, then. You sting me.
Why do I always have to press the sting?
Right, then. This week's whiskey.
Pure Scot Signature Blended Scotch Whiskey.
Pure Scot!
Pure Scot, Marty! Oh, the fly's back. Anyway, that's an old reference, everyone. To a fly, who was my only friend during lockdown. Right, let's move on from that.
A great friend, though. A great friend.
He was. Anyway, shat everywhere. This is from Bladnoch Distillery. Now, we did a whiskey from Bladnoch back in January 2021, probably when Mike McFly was around. No, wait, he was around in the summer before. Doesn't matter. Ignore me. But that was episode 43. Woo! All that time ago. We did their Samsara Lowland single malt. It was the one that was finished in the red wine casks. And it had a wonderful bottle.
Cracking bottle.
Cracking bottle, cracking cork.
Yeah. Big fan. I can't remember what we thought of that whiskey, But I was speaking about it with Danny Gruff recently, who was pretty scathing of it.
Scathing?
Yeah, he did not like it at all. I can't remember it being a standout or not a standout at all. I've got no memory of it.
I remember enjoying it, and I've had a few drams since because it's on my shelf, and I have enjoyed it. I think you didn't like the red wine aspect.
Me? That's more something that you don't normally like.
What, the tanniny red wine stuff?
Yeah,
Well,
I'm normally fine with that.
No, to be honest, I didn't listen to the episode today, so, Hey, everyone, go back and listen to episode 43.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting. The bottle is beautiful, but the one conversation I had about it recently was from someone who said they didn't like it, which is interesting.
Yeah,
obviously, other opinions are available, including ours. We just can't remember them.
Yes, but they have been documented.
They have been documented.
Yes.
See, this is why we now do the scoring system, because in future episodes we can be like, oh yeah, that whiskey, which we said was this on our scale. We must have quite liked that one. Or, I don't think we felt much about that. Anyway.
Well, that's 100 episodes wasted.
Well, I was thinking what it does mean, Nick, is we can go back and do some of those ones that are still available, because a lot of those episodes we were doing whiskey which people couldn't buy. So the ones where we were doing whiskey that people could buy, we could always do them again with our scoring system, even if they're just Patreon exclusives. We could do that.
We'd just do all of them in a day.
Oh, I mean, that would be a day, wouldn't it?
That'd be a day, wouldn't it? Aren't you up here next week or the week after?
Whisky and Things whiskey show is what we'd call that.
Wow. They'd be generally getting better and better throughout the day, wouldn't they? As well, scoring would
by
go
the
up
end,
now.
it would be like,
This is the best one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this one's great. Oh, God.
Anyway, what I do remember about the Bladnoch is it's a privately owned distillery. Like, for some reason, that rings a bell. It's not owned by Diageo or anyone like that.
Don't think so. An Australian bloke owns it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. A surfer.
Is that what it is? Right.
David Pryor. In 2015, he became the first Australian to own a whiskey distillery or a Scotch distillery.
I can't remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember saying that. Anyway, I've got a bit of copy here, Dave.
Oh, yeah.
David Pryor, a trailblazer in his own right. David Pryor is an Australian businessman, surfer, and long-time whiskey lover. Yes, as I said, in 2015, David Pryor became the first Australian ever to own a Scotch whisky distillery. The distillery was founded in 1817 originally by two Scottish brothers, yada, yada, yada. And yeah, they released some whisky 200 years later, which we're drinking today. Yes. But when he bought it in 2015, he partnered with renowned whiskey guru Charles McLean, who we talked about before. To help create this Pure Scot blend.
Right.
Yes, and today the operation, the blending side and stuff, and is led by Dr. Nick Savage. Remember that name as well. He joined in 2019, hailing from Macallan.
Ooh,
yes.
So that's all good things. In many ways. I like that. That sounds great.
I'm going to pour some.
Can I just ask, though, I mean, how did this surfer get his money to be able to buy a distillery the other side of the world? Do we know?
I don't know. It's very personal.
Well, no, because often when this happened, it says entrepreneur who previously had a startup business selling popcorn.
All it says here is businessman, surfer. So
yeah, because if he actually made his money surfing, that would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Google him.
No, I can't bother.
I'm doing it.
All right. Go on then. The thing is, I'm on my laptop, so I'm on a lot smaller screen. It's a lot harder for me to pull up Google while we're recording. That's my...
Welcome to my world every week. So now I can't see you.
You're in the same room as your main computer, though.
Yeah, but that's over on my desk.
You could move it.
Well, onto my bar. Every week I put my laptop on my bar.
Yeah. Well, you're having to do that. You might as well bring the whole computer over. And the Google machine says?
Entrepreneur. Oh, he made his money in yoghurt.
Yogurt. See? Isn't that random? Isn't that wonderful? See, that's a bit of information which I think has added so much to this podcast already.
Yeah, Australian businessman. He became notable in the yogurt business.
This is amazing. See, I'm more interested now. I'm much more interested. This is better.
He built up a yogurt brand called 5am from scratch in 2009 and sold it in 2014 for $80 million.
See, whoever wrote your copy earlier, where did you get that from? Was that from the Bladnoch website?
It's from the Bladnoch website.
Yeah. Why did they not say that? Because how many good whiskies have we had where we're going, oh, this tastes like yogurt? Like, so that could be a good selling point. This guy has got experience in yogurt. We like yogurt. Do you know what I mean? Not that he wants his whiskey to taste like yogurt necessarily. I'm sure there probably is a blend or a variety of their single malts, which does. All I'm saying is they should have said yogurt business entrepreneur David Pryor from Australia. I think that makes him more interesting, personally.
Something interesting as well. He also worked with his father, Malcolm, and built a sustainable packaging company, Baroda.
Was that prior to the yogurt company? See what I did there?
Wow.
Did that one go over your head?
It didn't. No, it didn't, mate.
Oh, you just didn't want to find it funny.
No, well, we've talked about this before. Something has to be really funny for me to actually laugh.
All right, fine.
I just smile. But
Fine.
This is
fine.
a podcast.
I'm fine with this. I'm fine with that. Smile away.
Yes. Well, I'll do a little like that. But I can cut and paste that from somewhere else. It's fine.
Excellent. Right. So should we now try this? So what is this particular version then? Right. So we had this lovely Bladnoch single malt.
Yes.
May or may not have been lovely, depending on who you're talking to. But that was a big single malt in a lovely old bottle. This is a very different thing, right? It's in a very different shaped bottle, and it's a blend.
Yes, this is a range they've made for mixing, essentially.
Right.
So yeah, Bladnoch is a Lowland. So it's a blend of their single malt whiskey, aged Speyside, Highland and Islay malts with grain whiskey, which is designed for mixing, apparently. So this is for your cocktails and stuff.
And that's what they say. They want people to use this for cocktails. That's direct from source. Interesting.
That's from source, yes.
Okay. I like the branding.
It's cool, isn't it? It didn't look like a whiskey. I remember when we got it. This was a present from...
It's very modern looking. It's very forward thinking, in my opinion. It's a little bit corny, the whole life in flow thing. But, that's Australian surfer dude vibe, isn't it?
Yes.
Which is fine. But I like it. It looks cool. It looks different. It's intriguing. It looks good on your shelf.
Yeah, it's a good shelf whiskey. It's got
it's a good shelf whiskey.
It's a clear bottle and it's got pictures of mountains and stuff on it. Yeah, I like it. Greens and blues. What's it remind me of? It remind me of the Scarpa box, actually, but this has mountains and stuff on it.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Scarpa box.
Just in terms of colour palette.
Because I now know they want us to have this in cocktails, this makes me think, that lowers my expectation of what I think this is going to be like on its own. Do you agree with that sentiment?
I know what you mean. Yes, I know what you mean.
It's almost like they're saying, look, it's probably not good enough to drink on its own, so let's stick some Coke in it.
I don't know. Well, preferably with cocktails and stuff. We'll see. I'm not going to lower my expectations for it. You might just get a bit more graininess in it, which,
can be a good thing. What's interesting about this is I poured it about 20 minutes ago now.
Wow.
And my initial reaction to the nose in it at that point was, ugh.
I quite like it.
Having left it sat down for that long, I've now gone back to it and I'm like, this is very pleasant. So maybe it just needed a bit of air.
Bit of
airing.
I need a bit of an airing sometimes.
Yeah, we will do. Like I'm getting there's certainly some cake mixture stuff going on in there. I mean, it smells like whiskey, but it's that fruity, dried fruit thing going on.
Yeah.
Some boiled sweet of some kind, maybe rhubarb and custard kind of thing, or a pineapple cube or something like that. There's some kind of sugary boiled sweet in there.
There's a hint of the furniture polish vibe for me, which I don't mind.
Yeah, again, we always say we enjoy that, absolutely. So all of those things are good. I'm enjoying all of that. Yeah, but it was really weird. When I first poured it, I was like, ugh.
Do you know what's it's a strong nose as well. It's 40% ABV, so it's not, standard, low as it could be, but packs a kind of bit
packs a punch out. Yeah, I agree.
Packs a scent, doesn't it?
It does for that. Yeah. All right. Okay. Should we get our mouth around this? Whiskey. Interesting. It's one of those great whiskies that it doesn't taste anything like it smells.
And as well, I'm going to say it's quite thin when you first put it in your mouth, but then the flavour kind of develops a few seconds later. You know what I mean?
That's really interesting. It really is very thin when you put it in your mouth. That's such a weird thing. I don't think we've ever said that before, but it's so true, isn't it?
Yes. It doesn't have that oily, thick kind of texture, which isn't oil, everyone, but you know, it's...
I'm getting ginger nut biscuits, mate. I haven't had any biscuits today, so it can't be that. I did have a ham sandwich about an hour ago. I'm just trying to always factor in what I've eaten when we do these kind of things. Because I think that can sometimes affect
it will.
it.
Yeah, it will.
When you first put it in, there's a smokiness, which then disappears.
There is definite.
It disappears quite quickly, and you're left with this spiciness.
Yeah.
Which
this doesn't offend me. I'm quite liking this.
Yeah,
you know?
I would definitely say it's more of a you whiskey than a me whiskey.
It is smokier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
actually.
I agree. And I'm guessing that's probably coming from the Isla stuff, right? Or
yeah,
maybe,
if it was a peated whiskey that went in there, we don't know.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you want a bit of smoke, you get it from the Isla, wouldn't you? So,
yeah. It's certainly a thing. I mean, I'm not mad at it, Nick. It's not blowing me away, but it's not awful. It really isn't awful. If this was on offer, if this was all that was on offer, I wouldn't be unhappy with that at all.
No.
What intrigues me is on the website, Nick, I don't see anything about cocktails. And then bear in mind they're saying they're selling this for your mixers. You would think that they would offer some suggestions on how to do that. That's one criticism of what is actually a fairly decent website.
Yeah, they do actually have their own range of canned cocktails already.
Ah, okay. What, using this or just...
I would have thought so, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Definitely would have thought so. Another thing as well, which is interesting on their website, he's really into his conservation, which is a big thing behind
I did see
what
that.
he's done. You did see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you see the bit where there's the option of buying a water bottle, I guess? You know, the...
Yes, something pack, trailer pack, or isn't it something it's called like that?
Something like that. And it's this and the other Pure Scot whiskey they've got with a reusable water bottle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think they donate some stuff to conservation efforts as well if you buy that, I think. I think that's what I read.
Yeah, I mean, 1% of their profits go towards...
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I'll read this actually. This is from the website. Pure Scot is inspired by Australian and Scottish nature and is committed to protecting the natural environment and reducing its impact. Our team is passionate about partnering with environmental foundations such as Citizens of the Great Barrier Reef and Greening Australia to support them in their missions. In 2020, Pure Scot joined 1% for the Planet, committing to donating at least 1% of its sales each year to environmental initiatives. Yeah, and they're committed to making their distillery carbon neutral by 2024.
That was the statement I then wanted to hear, because I was thinking it's all well and good donating money, but if you're kicking out more stuff,
yeah,
it's kind of a bit pointless, really. But yeah, if they're actually committed to that as well, that's fantastic. I'm just browsing this website again. I've come across the tasting notes for this whiskey. Interesting. It does say ginger marmalade, not ginger biscuits. But here's a funny one, and this always gets me with these kind of things. On their finish section, spicy and smoky, which we both said, although I said the smoke was more a front thing than an end thing. But anyway, long-lasting, which it is fairly long-lasting finish, and satisfying. Now, I'm not sure if satisfying is a tasting note, personally.
That's an opinion, isn't it?
That's an opinion.
It's...
tasting note, satisfying. Oh, yeah, what does that taste like? Oh, marketing departments, very amusing. Very amusing.
I'm trying to think about that. Satisfying. No, it's not a tasty note, is it?
It's not. It's absolutely not. I mean, it's, fine, whatever.
Well, it depends on the price, Dave.
It does.
I would say, whether it's satisfying or not.
What are we looking at here, Nick? So what size are these bottles? Because it looks a little bit less than a 70 cl. It's 500.
Well, here's the thing. I think
milliliter.
Since we were gifted these, they've gone through a bit of a rebrand and a relaunch.
Oh, have they?
Yeah. So this is why our bottle doesn't say the signature or the signature on our bottle, which it now says on the current bottle.
Current one.
Yeah. So ours are the 50 cls. It now comes in 70 cl.
Right.
So yeah.
So do we know what the 50 cl price was? If you don't, that's fine. What's the 70 cl? I think that's probably a better indication of price because we can compare that to a lot of other.
One of the other bottlings, the 50 cl, was about 30 quid.
Right.
But this is the 70 and it's £39.95. So an extra tenner for that extra 20. So yeah, 40 quid, this on the Whisky Exchange. And surprisingly, which doesn't usually happen, it's actually cheaper on the Bladnoch site. It's 35 quid on there, which you don't see very often.
No,
you don't see that very often, do you?
Yeah, often you don't see them selling on their own websites at all. So
Well,
that's
it's independent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all there. So
that's interesting. Right, so is that a good value for this whiskey? Do we think? What do you think?
40 quid. I would not pay £40 for this again. I kind of like the 50 CL, spending a little bit less and maybe getting kind of a smaller one. I probably wouldn't spend 40 quid on this.
The thing is, 40 quid's not an outrageous price, right? Even 35. 35's not an outrageous price. And 35's probably a little bit closer to where I was thinking. But I think this is a 30 quid whiskey. 25 to 30 quid whiskey. I think.
Yeah, it's a 25 to 30, yeah.
Yeah, in my mind. But obviously, if it's not something you see in the shop, so they might maybe not be making too much of it. But at the end of the day, if they're going for this blended whiskey for mixers market, then that's where it needs to be, in my mind, unless it's going to have something a little bit more unique about it. I do like the branding, but we're not drinking the branding, are we?
No, this is another thing. But I'm not sure about the new branding. I've looked in their website and I can't see. But I don't know whether they're mentioning the fact that some of the profits go to these environmental
Does that
places.
make a difference in how much you're willing to spend?
It probably would to me.
Well, 1% is 40p.
Okay.
But that's just of the revenue. Their 1% is of their profits, right?
Yeah, I guess.
So what's a profit on a bottle? Who knows?
Well, 70% of that's tax.
Exactly, right? So you're talking about a very small amount going to that.
Yeah, but on I don't know.
On a large scale, it's not insignificant. I'm not saying it's insignificant, Nick. I'm just saying that does that jump it up from a 25 quid to a 40 quid bottle of whiskey? No,
not really. And does that mean I'm satisfied?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's not a bad drop. It's not a bad drop at all. I am going back to it, which is good.
And I have poured some more.
As always, when you get to that point where you get past the smokiness of something, there's so much more to it as well.
Yeah, a few more mouthfuls as well.
Because it's not that smoky, is it?
I'm finding it quite smoky. It's not peaty. It's
a smoke, isn't it?
Yes.
Why they ever let two Englishmen have a whiskey podcast, I'll never know.
What else they got going on? They got the Pure Scot Virgin Oak, which we're going to be trying, everyone, after this, and that will be a Patreon exclusive video. So that's another one. Yes.
What will we be wearing? What will Nick's hair look like? Will Dave be wearing a hat? Find out by signing up to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Whisky and Things. And of course, is the whiskey better? That's probably the reason to want to sign up.
Yeah. Or we'll be wearing the exact same stuff we'll be, on our Instagram this week.
Shh, don't tell him that. Don't tell him that.
Are you going to be changing, Dave?
I could take my hoodie off.
We can both do it topless. Should we both do it topless?
I don't think that's going to get us. We will if you do. I will wear at least a vest. My nipples will not be on display.
Oh, I've got a new vest actually. I got a present for.
See my vest. See my vest. What's that? That's The Simpsons, isn't it? Mr. Burns. Wow, what episode was that? He was killing all the dogs to make vests. I'm sure that was the thing.
Oh, the Dalmatian thing. I don't know, mate.
There was a great... Sorry, I'm going to cut across you again. A little digression here. I'm thinking about The Simpsons recently, and there's a great moment, probably my favourite Mr. Burns moment, where there's like a news segment where they're talking about the pollution from the power plant.
Right.
And how bad it is, and highlighting all these animals that are either dead or got 3 eyes or whatever. And it cuts to Mr. Burns and Smithers watching this, and Mr. Burns got a little tear going down his eye, and he goes, "Smithers, was this us?" And Smithers goes, "Yes." He just looks and goes, "Excellent."
No, my favourite Mr. Burns moment. No, my favourite Mr. Burns moment was when someone asked him for money. He's in his mansion, and someone says, "Oh, you got to pay all these bills and stuff," and he's like, oh, well, I can't afford that. This is too much money. And suddenly like, the roof collapses. And all this gold and jewels and a crown lands on his head. And he goes, oh, well, as you can see, this whole place is falling apart. And then, oh, no, another one. Oh, Mr. Burns. It's for his birthday party and the Ramones are playing. And he hates it because it's like, screw you, Mr. Burns, 1, 2, 3, 4, this kind of thing. He goes, Smithers, have the Rolling Stones killed. But sir, immediately. Anyway, we get off that now.
Digressions are always fun. Yeah,
Simpsons
so that all came from the fact that we were talking about our Patreon and what we're going to wear. Just so we know. Right, now we're back to where we
will change. We will change.
So which came from the fact that Bladnoch also have a Pure Scot Virgin Oak. So now we're back to where you were.
Which is, I think, the same as this, but finished in American Virgin Oak casks, which is how they make bourbon, everyone. So you'll get a bit more of the oak.
It's 3% stronger as well.
It is. And as we said earlier, that's 40 quid as well. That's on the website, it's 40 quid.
So it's £5 more on the website.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. You can get that bottle on Whiskey Exchange for 30, or the 50 CL one, anyway. They've also got another one called Pure Scot Midnight Pete.
Oh, interesting. I haven't seen this one.
Which to me sounds like a gigolo.
Midnight Pete! Oh my God!
No? Feeling a bit lonely tonight, ladies or gentlemen? 0800 Midnight Pete.
Midnight Pete.
They might want to think about that name.
We've all been there.
We've all been there. Give Midnight Pete a call.
Wow.
Yeah, and then ask if you're satisfied.
It's a finish on that satisfying.
Yeah.
Long lasting and satisfying. Well, we'll soon see, Midnight Pete.
Yeah. Does Midnight Pete satisfy you? Wow.
Oh, mate, please pull up the tasting notes on that and see if it has something like that.
What we got? Okay. Pure Scot is for the radicals, the mavericks and the individuals. Midnight Pete is their drink for when the sun goes down. Beside the last embers of a glowing bonfire, amongst the smoky haze of an underground bar, or seizing a moment of spontaneity, Pure Scot Midnight Pete is for the explorers of the night. Sounds about right, doesn't it? Finished in smoky, spicy, ex-peated whiskey casks, Midnight Pete is designed by acclaimed master distiller Nick Savage in collaboration with Australian cocktail bartenders.
Wow.
Yeah, explorers of the night.
Wow. Midnight Pete for all you explorers of the night. Man, I wish we'd done that one. This whole episode would be very different.
Let's do it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Probably only about 40 quid.
Absolutely.
Get some Sorry. Midnight Pete, explorer of the night. Just sounds, fucking amazing. Anyway, yes, they got some other limited editions as well. The Vexta limited edition, only 200 bottles of this. They collaboration with Australian street artist Vexta. Yes, a limited edition bottle displaying some of her artwork. It's $250 a bottle. I don't know whether the whiskey's worth $250 or whether it's just for the artwork, but you get a free tote bag with that as well. Again, I don't know. Haven't had any. And they also have the AIFO limited edition, where they teamed up with Israeli street artists, AIFO. I'm not sure whether AIFO is meant to be pronounced AIFO, but now I've done both. Anyway, that is basically the same, what we're drinking now, with a limited edition gift box. So it's the gift box which has their artwork on it. And that's an extra $5 on their website for this gift box, which has got pretty things all over it. So I don't know. I don't know any more than that. But I'm not sure where that's available. But anyway, there we go. They've got a few more bits and pieces. And they have their canned cocktails, which we mentioned earlier. Dave's typing.
Well, I'm just having a look at the scoring already, mate. I'm a little bit ahead of you.
Yeah, you always do this. You get me talking. You start doing the scoring, then I'm behind later on. But,
that's right.
But there we go. Anyway, cool.
Shall we score this?
Let's give it a bit of a scoring.
The whiskey.
Wow.
Wow.
I think.
Wow.
How do you feel about that score? You've marked it the same as the Scarpa.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, it's kind of it's on the low end, isn't it? But
Yeah, and just like the Scarpa, I rated it higher than you did, but not quite as high as I did the Scarpa. So this one has ended up with an average of 47.14%.
Right,
So-
right.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously we always know our scoring system sounds lower than most people's. That sounds like pretty brutal, but it doesn't mean it's awful. It just means
It's fine.
it's fine.
Yeah.
I think adequate is probably the correct word.
Are we satisfied?
Satisfied. Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm satisfied. You know.
All right. It's all right.
Yeah.
So this goes above the Bowmore 12, below Scarpa. That's where it sits on our whiskey leaderboard at the moment. It'd be interesting when we do our video for the Pure Scot Virgin Oak 43, whether we get a higher score or not.
That will be interesting. Absolutely.
I mean, that's something that people can find out later.
If they watch our Patreon video, if you're a patron.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I think that's all we've got time for. Well, not all we've got time for. I think that's all we've got to say this week. Have you got any other business?
Whiskey. No, I don't think we've got
Any other business?
You got any other business?
Any
I don't think so.
Any
No.
old iron.
We're about to record that video for the Pure Scot Virgin Oak. So we're like, maybe let's just crack on with that, Dave.
I think we should
wrap up this episode.
Let's get on with it.
112.
112. Done. 112. Done.
What we're going to do on episode 182? I don't know.
Call
It's
it
like a
182.
Blink 182 vibes.
Oh, we should try and get Tom DeLonge on, shouldn't we?
We should, yeah.
Get him on to talk about aliens.
Yes. Get him talking. Absolutely. UFOs.
All right.
You know.
Well, you've got 70 episodes to make that happen.
I'll make some calls.
Yeah. I mean, you must know people that know him. You
Yeah.
absolutely must.
No, I do, yeah. I mean,
Who was our photographer that came on that time? He must know him.
Jared.
Yeah.
He might know. Yeah. Trying to think. We toured with him on Warped Tour the first time.
Well, there you go. Clang.
Yeah, Colin. Don't worry about it.
Hey, something just pulled one of those balloons down behind you.
Really? As the ribbon clanged. Or
Yeah.
something.
Have a look.
Oh, dropped something. But there we go.
All right. Well, that's
I'll work on it, Dave.
a new mission for you. Anyway, I'll speak to you in a bit when we do this other one. Oh, yeah.
I'm on a track with the guy from Blink 182 who actually replaced Tom DeLonge. So that's probably not a great kind of route into it. I'll shut up now.
But maybe he can connect us with Matt Hopeless.
Matt Hopeless.
No, it's Mark, isn't it? Mark Hoppus.
Mark Hoppus.
Is it Hoppus? Well, we've got to get him on because his name's Hop. I mean, does that not make more sense? Hey, we've got a whiskey podcast. We'd love you to come on to talk about Hoppus.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. That'd be perfect.
Job done. There we go.
Right.
That's episode 182 planned.
Yes.
All right then. Bye now.
Okay, see you later.
Angels have had their share, mate.
I haven't. Okay. Bye. So cheers. Thanks for coming.
Cheers. Thanks for coming.
Whisky and Things has been brought to you by And Things.